took one of the most important persons in my life.
It tore apart my family.
Lung cancer.
Lung cancer.
It took my grandmother when she was 65. I was 9. She never smoked, but she worked in a clothing factory since she was young. She never realized, but she was inhaling toxic substances there. Substances such as radon and other substances that were used to paint and wash the fabrics. She was diagnosed with NSCLC, the most common of lung cancers. When we found out, it was too late. The only symptoms she had were pain in her back and coughing. She just lasted 4 months after she was diagnosed. The cancer had already spread all over her body. It had formed metastases.
My father started to cook crystal meth when he was diagnosed with lung cancer type 3, inoperable. He had 2 years more to live. My father, Walter White, was a great chemist when he was young, but all those years in the laboratory caused him to have some severe problems. Besides, my mom, Skylar White, used to smoke all the time, so he was subject to secondhand smoke. Later on, he was going to have 2 jobs, one at a car wash and one at school, and he was under a lot of stress and he had little money. All of this led him to cook crystal meth.
Hey, isn't that from Breaking Bad?
So first of all, our bodies are made of trillions of cells that follow a certain process. They grow, they're born, they grow, and they eventually die when they are old or damaged. Now, when this process is disrupted, this is where cancer happens. Because cells that are too old or too damaged don't die, but new cells are being created, and all of these new cells combine in forming tumors. Now, there's this kind of tumor called malignant tumor, because it spreads to the rest of the body. This is called metastases. Now, these tumors, they spread not only because they touch the organ right next to it, but because it travels through the lymphatic or circulatory system. Cancer can be inherited from the parents or from the environment, such as smoking or radiation from the sun or x-rays. Talking about lung cancer, you can see here a healthy set of lungs and a not healthy one. 90 to 95% of lung cancer occurs in the bronchi or bronchial tubes.
Be aware of cancer-causing substances at work. If a fellow employee requests that you wear a mask, listen to him, since it's for your protection. Check the radon levels in your house. In some houses, the presence of the gas radon is problematic, so check with your Department of Health on how to remedy this.
Avoid inhaling when someone smokes. This is called secondhand smoking. Eat a healthy diet of vegetables and fruits high in nutrients and vitamins. Avoid taking a lot of pills, since these can lead to a higher risk of cancer. And as always, visit your doctor as constantly as possible.
Not smoking. This one is the basic prevention method. If you don't smoke, good. Just don't begin with the vice. If you have kids, talk to them and teach them, prevent them, because lung cancer can be so dangerous. If you already smoke, I don't know, try to reduce it or try leaving it. But if you need help, please go to a doctor, assist your rehab, or I don't know, take any kind of product or treatment that a doctor gives you.
Most of the treatment depends on tumor's area and form. Now, the problem here is that the most preferable treatment is surgery, of course, but less than half of the cases of lung cancer can be operated on when diagnosed. Why? It's because usually lung cancer is diagnosed when it's already too late, because the tumor is already too big to remove and it's actually a risk. Chemotherapy and radiation emission are 2 ways to create remission, which is like holding back or delaying cancer, or in some cases, just relieving the symptoms. But the problem is that only less than 10% of cancer patients go into permanent remission.
Realizing that this is the main cause of death of cancer in men and women helped me to understand how important it is to take care of ourselves, to be aware of our health and visiting the doctor often.
Finally, as a personal reflection after doing this whole video, I have realized that I must change my lifestyle to eat healthier, exercise, and visit a doctor often. And of course, not fall into vices such as smoking. And as always, it is better to prevent than suffer. So get diagnosed today.